Tom Brady, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, the greats, the legends. He's looking to score. He's scanning the defense. He's looking at his wings. He's checking his running back. He's making sure they're about to get their mans. He's calling, bear, bear. Pointing out the middle linebacker, Mike, that boy about to blitz. Set. Ah! That's where I'm at. Damn, it feels good to be a gangster. It's your boy, TheAmericanAfrican, here with another fasting gauntlet challenge. 100 days. 100 days. Just kidding. 90 days. Just kidding. I'm not even doing nothing. I'm fasting right now, you know. Saturday, the end of Saturday will mark 90 days of fasting, right? Within those 90 days, I ate for 3 days. So it's just a number. It's really just a psychological number. But it just so happened to also coincide with me going on call for my job. So, man, that washing machines. Yeah, it also coincided with me going on call for my job. So, naturally, I said, it all works out. If I eat, it's for energy. Because anything could happen, and I just don't want to be, like, having hypotension, orthostatic hypotension, while I'm trying to fix something because I'm bending down. You know what I'm saying? It's happened to me one time on one fast before. I don't know if I recorded it while it was happening, but it's happened to me one time before, and I had to perform the duty. But I was having hypotension issues. It was crazy. So to prevent that, I always try and make sure that if I'm doing some work that could be like extended hours, a lot of bending down and stuff like that, I'm not in the fasted state. So yeah, plan is to probably break my fast, let's just say somewhere between Friday and Sunday, okay? Now after that, that's the real question about what am I going to do. I don't believe in taking breaks while fasting. Like when I refeed, it's not a break. I don't even like to call it refeeding. That's just what everyone else calls it. So it's like, for association purposes, I call it refeeding. I like to call it feeding. I believe in feeding and fasting, right? It's either you're feeding or you're fasting. I like to know what I'm doing. So if I'm feeding, I'm feeding. And when I cut it off, I'm cutting it off. And then I'm fasting, right? For at least 18 hours at a time. No, at least 16 hours at a time, right? As long as my body says keep going. So I think after this 6-day water fast, I will have one more refeed, meaning I'll fast for probably another 6 days, have another refeed, and then do possibly an unlimited fast. Why? Because the numbers don't even matter anymore, and they don't even make sense to me anymore. You know? Every time I've tried to fast to go to a certain, not every time, but most of the time I try to fast to go to a certain number, I feel like it causes issues, and then I don't quit when I should be feeding and then going back into a fasting state because I want to reach a number, you know? So I think my fast going forward may be, I don't know, it's too hard to speak too far into the future, but let me say this. I plan on finishing this fast, which will be somewhere between 4 to 6 days, and then doing a 6-day water fast. And I can see one thing possibly messing that up. And it'll be a social event sort of thing. But anyways, let's say I do that 6-day water fast and then feed until mentally I say, yeah, let's go, it's go time, and then do unlimited. And unlimited doesn't mean 1 week, 10 weeks. It doesn't necessarily mean that. It could be 3 days. It's just that I don't plan on timing my fast anymore. I want to see if I can do feeding, fasting until I get my body fat down. Then as my body fat is down, I do more feeding and then as it starts to go up, I go back into fasting. It's too hard for me to speak far into the future. It's just way too hard. All I can say is that my target is to drop as much body fat as I want, meaning like look in the mirror, look on the scale, just keep going with it psychologically. How do I feel? How do I feel emotionally? Everything. Just keep evaluating myself to decide how I want to move forward, I like to take life one day at a time nowadays, at worst 1 week at a time. So to try and say, oh, this is what I'm going to do for the next 3 months, it's nice to have a plan, trust me. But fasting is so difficult that if I was to try and plan it out that far ahead in the future, with the amount of body fat that I have now, I just don't think it's feasible, When I had over 50% body fat, it was feasible. Can you believe over the past year, I've dropped 25% body fat? That's crazy, right? Is that crazy for me? I don't even know anymore. But yeah, I had all this stuff written out about what I was going to talk about, but I threw it out the window, okay? But let me cover a little bit of it. Alright, so winter was fasting season, right? Yeah, winter was fasting season. I don't know if that's going to be a regular occurrence for me, because if that's a regular occurrence, that means that every summer and fall I'm going ham on food, and then winter I'm fasting. And I might actually be a grizzly bear, but I don't want that, okay? I'm not gonna say I don't want to ever regain weight ever again, because I think that learning how to deal with weight regain psychologically is a very important thing to master. If you want to master obesity and overcome obesity, right, you have to learn how to deal with weight regain. I truly believe that. Or you have to get into a position where you don't regain weight. You have to pick one or the other. But basically, you have to be able to understand all the pitfalls and shortcomings that will come. In my mind, right, when I was going through winter, I was like, okay, fall is mine. I'm gonna be biking, hiking, But it's like, man, although life isn't promised, right? I'd rather keep working on my weight than saying I'm going to scale back on weight loss because I want to partake in more activities. Instead, I want to focus on my weight loss. When my mind is strong like this, I like to use that momentum to my advantage. But again, I evaluate things on a day-to-day basis, week-to-week basis. So for now, for today, that's how I feel. Okay. Initially, I plan to actually do rolling 6-day fast, rolling 6-day water fast. Pretty much like eat every Saturday. That was my plan at one point. But I said, what could happen is that I can just eat heavy on Saturday to the point where I'm cutting into a lot of the loss in weight. Why don't if I want to lose weight, let me just lose weight. But again, everything comes down to psychological. I might end up changing my mind. Okay. I'm going to talk about mindfulness. And I have to make a video about mindfulness, man, because meditation has really taught me mindfulness, and mindfulness is a very important concept. It's really helpful when it comes to psychology. One of the things I want to study on this fast, every fast I choose something to study. I don't cover them because they're not streamlined. They're kind of like tangent thoughts. But two of the things I want to study is organic food. Okay, like, does it really matter? Like, okay, I hate to be cynical, but we're all gonna die one day, right? And how much does organic food impact my personal life, me? And can I really tell? Okay, I do truly believe that organic food tastes better. From my experience, it tastes better. There is a difference. Even the consistency of the vegetables and stuff. And mostly produce we're talking here for me. When it comes to meat, I can't give organic meat the edge. There's something that they put in that other shit. But anyways, and then I also want to study leafy greens, okay? Leafy greens have potassium, vitamin A, a lot of vitamins and all that sort of stuff. And I want to see, can I eat them so much to the point where I actually notice a benefit? It's one thing to hear it. Oh, eat more of this. Oh, eat more of that. But can I actually notice it? Will I actually notice it? You know? So leafy greens. My favorite leafy green is spinach. And then I also want to learn how to prepare different leafy greens. Seaweed has been a hot topic lately, so I don't think I'm a seaweed person, but I can do spinach. I tried kale. Kale can be good, but I feel like the only time I like kale is when I add a lot of seasoning. All right, enough of that. And as far as posting videos, I don't know. I don't know my frequency going forward. I feel like when I'm doing a longer fast, it's kind of like an event, so it's easy to post daily, right? But now that I'm kind of gonna be all over the place, I don't know. I don't know my schedule. I don't know how I'm gonna be doing updates. I don't know if I'm even gonna be recording. I don't know. I haven't thought it out. Even the past 2 days, not including today, my 2 refeed days, I went to the gym. I went running. Didn't record it. I've been highly active, moving around like crazy, cleaning a lot. All the things I couldn't do when I was fasting, cutting my hair. But yeah, that's my spring update. Okay, my spring update is that I don't know what spring is gonna look like for me, but I do see a lot of fasting. Oh, and one other thing, all of this depends on my body. If my body says no more, then it's no more. And if my body says no more, that's when I really have to buckle down and go back into dieting, right? Where I eat regular and I just diet, right? Calories in, calories out. Basic math, man. I mean, if you really think about it, if you want to lose weight, what you put in needs to be less than what you actually use. That's what I mean to say, okay? It's really basic math. It's just that we tend to overcomplicate things, man. Humans are good at one thing: overcomplication of shit. Keep that shit so simple. That's why I fast. It's so simple. I want to lose weight. I'm just not eating, but I'm gonna make sure everything else is good, right? I'm gonna drink. I'm gonna take in my electrolytes. I'm taking my vitamins. I'm gonna take the ACV, get my, my gut microbiome going. When I become bloated or I have edema, I'm gonna take my diuretics. What other things do I employ? Oh, when I notice that my body's rejecting pills, I stop taking pills for a little bit. When I go to the gym, I pre-take snake juice. Snake juice is bae on longer fasts. These are just things I developed. Now they're automatic. I could teach a course. Hey, YouTube, what's good? It's your boy, the American African. And, it's fasting season, Fasting season just doesn't end just because it's winter. Now it's spring and I'm still in the mood to keep fasting. I really look in the mirror very often and I just say, man, I can actually see me being skinny. Like, I could actually see it happening. You know what I mean? It's no longer just like a pipe dream. It's like, nah, it's gonna happen. It's not even just that I can see it happening. It's going to happen because even if I can't fast anymore, I'm going to keep dieting. Whatever it takes, calories in, calories out. I'm just going to be in a deficit. Whether I'm fasting or I'm doing some sort of diet, I'm going to stay in a deficit until I reach, targeted weight goals. And I'm going to be evaluating as I go, because unless there's some extreme case that happens where I feel my body actually needs more calories, like it needs it, there's no reason for me to take in more than I need. And there's no reason for me to even take in as much as I need. I'd rather be in a state of ketosis and just keep burning fat some way, somehow. Just keep chipping away. And let's say I got 55 pounds left. That's crazy considering that when I started, I said, okay, I have 300 pounds to lose, right? And now I can say I only got 55 pounds to lose, right? That's kind of crazy when you really think about it. And it's a very nice thing to say. It just rolls off the tongue. I got 55 pounds to lose. That sounds like nothing to me. But I will say this. I'm going to be chipping away half a pound at a time. Like, seriously, though. That's how I'm looking at this. I'm not looking at this like, okay, I got to lose 55 pounds tomorrow. No way. I'm not putting myself in that position. Because, again, I don't know the rate of fat burn, right? I don't know if anything has changed at all. Because I don't weigh myself often. I think that when I'm fasting, it's good not to weigh myself, especially too often, because when the weight's not dropping or moving or I go up in weight, it does something to me psychologically. There's times when I force sleep because I know I burn more weight when I sleep. I don't really force strenuous exercise, but I might force exercise because I'm like, no, man, this weight's supposed to be moving. How come it's not moving? But the funniest thing about my weight is that I'm telling you, sleep and water, they control it. There's sometimes when I drink a lot of water and I gain weight, and there's sometimes when I drink water, but because I'm also expelling water and I'm getting good sleep, everything moves properly, you know? So it's like I kind of know the formula, but I don't like to be so conscious about it, you know? I just want to flow. So, it's spring. The weather isn't perfect, you know, but it's getting nice. I'm gonna take advantage of it and keep fasting. I'm gonna keep fasting. I'm gonna keep pushing. I might fast through the whole April. You know, I'll definitely have refeeds when necessary. All my refeeds will probably be mukbangs. I've been thinking about that, where I'm just talking about lessons that I've learned in weight loss, lessons that I've learned like mindfulness, you know, like tracking and calorie counting, and when it's necessary and when it may not be necessary, when it was working for me, when it didn't necessarily work for me, you know, and definitely covering psychology. Like I said, I've learned that obesity is a psychological issue, and I don't mean that in a negative way. I just mean that in a factual way. Like, for you to put more food than you need in your mouth constantly, there's something psychologically going on. Subconsciously, sometimes, consciously, sometimes, right? And if you can get to the bottom of that, that's like stage one, right? Okay, what's causing me to eat more than I need when I know I don't need it, right? I have a lot of stored fat. I don't need to store more fat. So why am I still doing this? That's the psychological thing about obesity, right? What is psychologically is causing this? Because if I don't get to the bottom of this, I could lose weight, but I'll gain it back, right? And by the way, as I keep mentioning, there's nothing wrong with regaining weight. As long as you take life one day at a time, don't beat yourself up, keep your head up, keep pushing. Y'all that's been watching me for a year, or that's even went back and watched my videos, you'll see weight regain if you really pay attention, you know? Maybe one day, yeah, I think one day I'll cover a video on it. You know, weight loss isn't like this. It's like this, okay? But you just want to keep trending downwards. You want to keep trending downwards. That's the point. You know, I've been trying to grow my channel organically. I don't really promote my channel or pump my channel. And I know how to do all that sort of stuff. All right? A little background about me. When I was in college, I had an online business that was pretty successful. I ran it by myself. You know, some sort of e-commerce, something like that. But anyways, the point being that I know how to promote, I know how to sell, I know how to do all that shit. But I don't want this to be that sort of thing. I want this to be something where it's really just a documentation of parts of my life. I want there to be some comedy. I want there to be some entertainment. I want to unleash my creativity. But a lot of it comes down to me taking time to actually create, edit good quality stuff versus just pumping. I've been thinking about it, and I'm thinking that At 1,000 subscribers, it will unlock monetary revenue for me for YouTube. If you notice on a lot of my videos, I have copyrighted music because I don't care. Like, I'm not getting money. So, I'm not getting money from this shit. So, it's like they can have it, right? So, yeah, all the shit I'm doing right now is free. But that's the way I wanted it to be, right? But I'm thinking, you know, when I reach 1,000 subscribers, maybe, just maybe, I'll do a body reveal. Because why not, right? Like, there's absolutely no reason for me not to show my body. Because, okay, I look this way. So, whether my clothes are on or off, I look this way. You know, it doesn't, I don't want to say it doesn't bother me. I don't want to say that I don't subconsciously think about my body or anything like that. Of course I do. But what I'm saying is that if I reveal my body, what else left is there? Like, what can people say about me? What can people do to me? That's putting my whole life out there on the line. That's me, you know? And I'm not doing it to make money or to gain subscribers or anything. It's just like, if I'm going to document my life, I'm documenting the whole fucking thing. I just don't care. I'm an all or nothing type of person. And I've always wanted to show my body, but I've always stopped myself and said, I actually have videos. I just never posted them. I always stopped myself and said, I mean, are you sure you're ready for this? Because you haven't really sat down and thought about it, you know? So I was like, okay, you're right. You're right. I would always stop myself. But I think I'm just going to pull the trigger. 1,000 subscribers. Since I can cash in on it, who knows how much I'll grow when I show my body. Maybe, you know, it seems that people show their bodies. No, you're not. I don't stop myself. Well, yeah, you know, I know people will sling rocks. I know a lot of people will hug me, you know. But that's life, man. Life isn't balanced, right? Just a little bit of negative can spoil 99.9% of positive. That's just the way it is. That negative shit is stick to you. It stick to you. It stick in your brain, you know? Yeah. The weirdest thing is, like, if I show my body on YouTube, it's okay because, like, that's a little pocket of the internet. It's not like I'm walking down the street, right, naked or something. But I still won't go to the beach, no shirt, you know what I'm saying? Or with a Speedo on because of the loose skin and the body, right? I still won't go to the swimming pool. You know, it's always going to be shirt on until I get surgery. There's no amount of surgery that can fix 300 pounds of fat exiting skin, okay? I mean, there's no amount of working out, collagen supplements, any skin creams that can fix, okay, that can fix this. You understand? There's nothing, all right? Only surgery can fix this, all right? So it's either I'm going to live with it and live my life without surgery, or I'm gonna get surgery, right? It's one or the other. There is no other way. It's surgery or not. So I think I'm going to live with this body for 6 months. Let's say like this: 3 months evaluate, 1 month evaluate, 3 months evaluate, 6 months evaluate, 1 year evaluate. And I'm evaluating as I go to see what I really care. My loose skin actually bothers me though, physically. So let's say I'm laying in the bed. Sometimes my skin overlaps and I have to like adjust my skin so that I can be comfortable when I'm laying down. When I'm running, right, my skin be flapping and shit, so I have to wear like compression clothes. But you see, there's workarounds, you know, there's workarounds. I don't mind the workarounds, but it'd be dope, you know, if I could just walk around as a normal person, man. You know? This shit I think about, but I don't really think about it too much anymore. I thought about it a lot in the beginning, but now it's like I'm more comfortable with myself. As I'm supposed to be, right? When you lose weight, you should be more comfortable with yourself. I can't imagine, at least for me, right? Loose skin will never outweigh or even come close to me living in a 400-pound body. It will never come close. So it's like, this is a small thing to me. You understand? Yeah. You know, the biggest thing I learned after fasting for 65 days, mindfulness, to be mindful, to think before you act. Mindful, be mindful, be mindful, be mindful. That's like been the theme for me for the past few weeks. It's just to be mindful. Take things in slowly, think, meditate, stop, think, pause, take your time, think, 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 think. Be mindful. But not in a like anxious way. Think. No, just like think. Okay. Think about it. Take some time. Think about it. Chill, relax. Think about it. You know? That's just been like a constant thing for me. And I think it's been working actually. Like if I didn't take anything else away from that fast, learning to just take my time, think things through, process on my own time, then yeah, that's good enough for me. That's a big lesson learned, to be mindful and how important being mindful is. Because I'm the type of person, I'm very calculated. If I'm mindful and calculated, I can't lose in anything in life, like nothing. You know, I be thinking about it, and there's really no need for me to weigh myself unless I just really want to know what I weigh. That's how I feel today, right? And the reason is like, let's say I get on the scale today and I weigh 225, right? What am I going to do about it? At the end of the day, I'm still completing this fast to a certain day, right? So being that I have to go to that certain day, imagine if I get on the scale and the numbers are a number that I feel is negative, right? Compared to what I wanted it to be, it's going to affect me mentally, and there's nothing I can do about it, right? The things that I will try and do about it are try and sleep more, drink more water, take more diuretics just in case there's a lot of water retention going on, but still monitor my blood pressure, make sure I don't go into low blood pressure mode. And like I will start to think too much over some numbers that I'm going to achieve anyway. So, you know, slow and steady approach. I can't say, oh, I'm going to weigh myself weekly or I'm going to weigh myself every X amount of days. It's more so of a flow. There might be a day I weigh myself 4 times. There might be a week I don't weigh myself at all. You know, it's kind of just a flow. And at the end of the day, it's all about what works, right? I'm trying to achieve a goal. So whatever it takes to achieve that goal that's safe, cool, works for me, doesn't make me overly anxious in a bad way, that's like the script, you understand? That's the script I'm sticking with. So this is just kind of like a collection of talks, right? Post-fast. Technically, I am still fasting though, but you know, post super extended water fasting, right? It's a collection of thoughts of what's on my mind so that one day I might look back, reflect on this. You guys might learn something from it too. So fasting, right? Water fasting in particular. I was thinking about it, you know, and I was wondering like, who creates the rules of life, right? Who says that water fasting is something that shouldn't be done or that's very extreme or it's dangerous and all these things? Like who writes these things? Who dictates that for people? Because water fasting, I have reached points of failure. I have reached points that were very hard to push through, or I decided not to push through, right? But I've learned from them, I've grown from them, and I've continued to achieve my goals. Think about this. I started my journey 300 pounds overweight, right? Morbidly obese. I have lost 250 out of 300 pounds. 250 out of 300 pounds. That's 83%. I'm at 83% completion of reaching my target. Mostly through ketosis by way of fasting or keto diet.
but mostly by way of fasting, whether it's intermittent fasting or total water fasting, right? Total water fasting, I mean, again, I still haven't even sat down to process it, but I have gave little tips and bits or whatever, right? Tips and tricks, right? But water fasting, yo, it's free. Well, it's not free. It's not free. Let's not say it's free, but it's very cheap. It's very effective. It is restrictive in lifestyle, like for sure it's restrictive, but no one says you have to do it for a long period of time. No one, like, there's no rules to it. You can do it however you want. It's completely your choice. It's completely your willpower. And I'm not here to advocate fasting. I'm here more so to advocate against the people that advocate against fasting. Like, says who? Like, who is the person who came into your life and told you that fasting is bad? Now, I get it. Fasting is looked at as starvation, right? And obviously, it's not good to starve yourself, right? But I feel like if you have an excessive amount of body fat, then it's okay to starve yourself. You understand? Like, then you can ignore your body signals that's saying, hey, my stomach is empty, or hey, it's feeding time, let's eat. You can kind of ignore that and say, I'm going to feed off of my stored fat for a little bit, for a while, build it up if you want to go longer, you know? I don't think that there's anything wrong in that, you know? I haven't even had any scares to the point where I felt like I need to go to the hospital. But I have had scares where I felt like I was going to die. I'm not going to lie. But I do a very, very extreme form of water fasting. I like the challenge. You know, don't forget, when I started this whole long fasting thing, I called it the gauntlet. I set the tone straight from the beginning. Go look up the definition of gauntlet, you know? It's a video game that I used to like. But yeah, go look up the definition of gauntlet and you'll understand. Like, I set this up this way. This is not the way that normal people do fasting, you know? This is not the way that I learned to do fasting. At some point, I just said, let me make this fun. Let me have fun with this. You know, YouTube was part of it too. Like, since I was posting on YouTube, I was like, what's next for YouTube? Let me make this challenging. Let me make this fun. Let's do a water fasting challenge. Although it was me challenging myself, but still, you know? And that's what I like to do in life when I want to push myself, is I set up some sort of challenge. Most of the time it's subconscious, but since this was on YouTube, I wrote it all out. I had a spreadsheet. I posted it. I showed it, you know? So fasting, yo, there are no rules that say you're not allowed to fast, you know? It's up to the individual. You have to make an individual call whether or not you want to test your willpower, whether or not you want to test the limits of life. And it's not for everyone. But for those of you that like it, love it, embrace it. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't do it. You know, sometimes there's things in life that aren't meant to be shared, right? You can't share with everyone. You can't even share sometimes with your closest friends, your family, you know? You have to kind of decide what you're going to share based on what you're doing. You know, fasting is not something I've shared with my family, okay? I remember sharing it with my sister one time. I was doing a water fast, and she said nothing. But I could kind of see it on her face that she felt I was, or I can't say what was on her mind, but knowing my sister, I can imagine what she was thinking to herself, you know? And after that moment, I just never shared what I do. And listen, 250 pounds out of 300, you tell me if it works, all right? The proof's in the pudding. The proof's in the pudding, okay? I'm an individual. You're an individual. Everyone is individuals, right? We can't always be thrown into a box. Sometimes we have to think outside the box. Sometimes we have to find out what is our potential. Where are we? Where can we go? You know, not just read this book. This book says this, I'm going to do this. That's how I started, though. Don't get it wrong. When I started my water fast, the first book I read in my first month, the 30-day water fast, was the Obesity Code. I'm pretty sure it was the first month. It's either the first month or the second month. I then followed up with another Jason Fung book, The Complete Guide to Fasting. I'm looking at them right now. You know, I read these books in totality. I read these books during my lunch breaks at work. People saw the books sitting right there in front of me, you know? I didn't care. And I enjoyed the books and I learned a lot from the books. But I also learned negative things about some of the things that's in the book, right? So there's, in everything in life, there's two sides, okay? Just like a coin, there's two sides, heads and tails, you know? There's pros and there's cons. There's positive and there's negative. A lot of people have these absolute mindsets, these extreme mindsets, which are okay to have for certain periods of life to reach and achieve certain things or learn certain things. But to have it and carry it forever is just crazy, you know? Fasting works for me, but I won't always be fasting, right? Intermittent fasting works for me, but I won't always do intermittent fasting. Keto works for me, I won't always do keto. Paleo works for me, I won't always do paleo. Veganism is cool, I won't always practice veganism, right? It's a flow. Life is a flow. It's a current. You just gotta learn it, ride it, and move. You know what I'm saying? Don't be so restrictive all the time, but be restrictive some of the time. Don't have an absolute mentality. Yeah. Life is beautiful, y'all. Life is beautiful. You just have to embrace it and don't put yourself in a box. Embrace life. Go outside the box. Do something. What do they say? Live a little. Carpe diem. Seize the day. Your boy has entered the fourth quarter. He's entered the red zone. He's on the 20-yard line. He's looking to score, you know. Tom Brady, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, the greats, the legends. He's looking to score. He's scanning the defense. He's looking at his wings. He's checking his running back. He's making sure they're about to get their mans. He's calling, bear, bear. Pointing out the middle linebacker, Mike, that boy about to blitz. Set, ah! That's where I'm at. And we in the Super Bowl, baby. Yeah, but anyways, you know, the red zone. I'm in the red zone, man. And they calling defense on your boy. They calling that defense on your boy, you know? Who is they? They is just life. It's just life. It's no one in particular. It's just life. You know, they calling them defenses on your boy. They don't want your boy to score. You know, they trying to score. What are they trying to score? Who knows? But they trying to score. They don't want your boy to score. But I'm in the red zone and my game face is on and I'm ready to go. I'm ready to kill this thing. You know what I'm saying? And that's just my mentality. That's just how I got to be. I'm in the red zone. I'm in the fourth quarter, NBA championship game, NFL Super Bowl. You know what I mean? They calling defenses on your boy. But I'm calling my audibles. I'm putting my people in motion. I'm scanning the defense. We got to win this thing, man. We got to win this thing, man. 2-minute drill. 2-minute drill, Super Bowl. We down 7. No, fuck it. We down 6. We down 6. You know what I'm saying? We still got to do a field goal to tie. I mean, to break the tie if we score the touchdown. They calling defenses on your boy. They calling defenses on your boy. I was just talking to someone. They know I've been fasting, right? They didn't know that I finished that fast that I did. That was supposed to be 40 days, but kept going. When I told them that I did, they started celebrating. And it's like they weren't celebrating while I was fasting. So the fact that they were celebrating that I said I was done, I already knew, fuck this person, right? So I said, why are you celebrating? And they're like, I'm just happy. I'm like, happy? Happy about what? They said, because I don't want you to die. Click. They calling defenses on your boy. Like, why would you say that to someone? I've been fasting for over a year. I've been fasting for on and off for over a year. I don't want you to die. And the worst part about it is I understand it. I understand where they're really coming from. I understand that they just don't understand fasting. They haven't read up on it. They won't read up on it. They just want to be ignorant and live in their ignorant place, in their ignorant, you know, arena, you know. And I get it, because in different parts of life, I think we're all like that in some way. But the issue I have is, like, with this particular person, I've tried to teach them. I've sat down, I've spent hours and hours of time teaching them about ketosis, teaching them about fasting, teaching them about obesity, you know? They calling defenses on your boy. So this is why sometimes I just go off social media. It's not even because something like this has happened. It's because I don't want something like this to happen. I'm very strong right now mentally. So it's because I'm doing a 6-day fast. And really, even when a person said it, I actually predicted that by talking to this, I haven't talked to this person in a long time, that by talking to this person, they were going to fuck up. Like, I already knew it. I already knew it, because this person has a history of fucking up. I understand their concern, but there's plenty of people that know what I'm doing are concerned, but they don't voice it. They just respect it. They let me have my thing. You know what I mean? Like, I can't have this? Damn. You know? And the thing about me is, it's not even like I'm a boaster or a bragger. You go look at my IG. All you see there is food. I finally, just last week, finally decided to start posting stories, you know? I'm going to be posting like little stories. You know what I'm saying? I still haven't decided to post yet, where I do all the hashtags and garner attention and everything. You know, I'd rather people find me because I gave them my link through YouTube, pretty much. You know, and even YouTube, to find my channel, you have to search for fasting pretty much, or obesity or weight loss or something of that order, right? So it's like I have my own little corner. I'm not even trying to say, hey world, look at me, look at what I'm doing. I don't know that I want to handle and manage all that outside noise. You know what I'm saying? I think that's something that you do after you finish. But while you're going through your journey, you need supporters, you need cheerleaders. You know what I'm saying? It used to be when I meet someone new, I would even tell them, oh, you know, weight loss journey, check out my pictures. And now I'm at a point where I don't even show pictures. I don't even tell people until I find that this person is open-minded, or I've kind of prepped them to be open-minded by showing them who I am and the way I think, right? And I know that they can handle it, and I can handle the way that they are. Then it's like, okay, I'll share it with them. But yeah, they calling defenses on your boy. Me, that's in my own little corner. Don't bother nobody. I don't preach to nobody. You should do this. You should do that. I do my own little thing. I'm very quiet. Very quiet. They still be coming. They still be coming, man. But that's life, I guess. That's life, you know. You got to be very careful who you let in your life and how long you let them sit there. Linger like little flies. Fuck out. So, I've talked about refeeding in another video, and I showed the stats about that, right? It's basically like 2 4,000 calorie days. I've talked a little bit about my April plans, how basically in April, I don't really have any plans because I'm going with the flow, taking things one day at a time. And it really, I think that my activity levels will really depend on how I fast, you know? I'm just very anxious, but if I wasn't, I would just do 1 week fast, refeed, 1 week fast, refeed. Basically like 6 days, eat 1 day, 6 days, eat 1 day. I can easily do that, but I'm just so anxious. I just want to get these final 55 pounds off. 55 pounds left. That's crazy. The final fast, I'm still holding off on talking about that, but basically there's a high possibility that I'll do one final long fast to take care of a lot of this weight. It's possible, it's likely, but at the same time, with the weather changing and it's so beautiful outside, I can't imagine like restraining myself for like a whole month or something like that. You know what I mean? But I'll keep thinking about it, and if it changes in my mind, if my mentality changes, I'll just jump into it. You guys know me though. So fasting lengths, right? There's different fasting lengths, obviously. I find 2 days not to work for me because when I refeed, I think I eat too much. So basically, it's like if you do a 2-day fast, you don't normally reach ketosis. Everyone's different though. You don't normally reach ketosis. So if you do a 2-day fast and then you eat double, you basically eat for 2 days when you refeed, you can negate your fat loss. You know what I mean? So it doesn't work for me. But 3 days, it works very nicely. I keep saying I want to do 3-day water fast cycling, but when I think about eating possible up to 3 times in 1 week, I just feel like right now I don't need that in my life because I get into a frenzy where all I'm thinking about is the next meal. So I still have some work to do on control. And then fasted for 1 week. I've never done it in cycles, but I think fasting for 1 week is okay. But I think my body be knowing what I'm thinking. So when I fast for 1 week, my body will retain food. Like today's day 4 of my water fast. It's almost the end of day 4. I got like 2 hours, 30 minutes to go. And you guys know me by now. I had a big poop today. I had a big poop, right? That means that my last meal could still possibly be in me. We're 4 days in, you know what I'm saying? I feel like my body is doing that because it's trying to, it doesn't know, like, it either knows or it doesn't know that I'm fasting, you know? It's being smart. That's how I feel because I took in enough fiber. I did everything right. I'm just used to it. It always holds food. Just like when I was doing a 65-day water fast. In the last week, I was still pooping. All right. And then as you guys know, long fasts are very beneficial in so many ways, but it really restricts lifestyle. So it is a tough thing to get into if you plan on being highly active, right? I think that's another reason why at the end of the summer last year, or that was the beginning of the summer last year, I stopped fasting because mentally I was breaking down. And I'm pretty sure part of the reason I was breaking down was that I started going for walks and jogs. And that's when I first started experiencing hypoglycemia. It's just that back then, I didn't know it was hypoglycemia. I thought it was ketoacidosis. All right. But what I'm thinking of doing is like unlimited fasting and then break the fast as I need to with maybe a 1 day worth of refeeding. It might be 1 meal worth of refeeding or 2 meals. It might not be a whole day, but I think I really like that, and I think that's highly likely. And when I say unlimited, it will probably be 3 days or more. What I anticipate is, yeah, I don't know the sweet spot. I won't know until I try it. And I don't know if I'm going to try it, but it's an idea, right? I feel like 3 weeks is the sweet spot. Like, I feel like if I did 3 or 4 3-week fast, that'd really reduce my weight. But it's so restrictive. With 1 week fasting, I can still semi go hard at the gym, semi go hard when it comes to running and everything. You feel me? What else do I have on here? So the issue I have with eating every day is that I tend to go on what I call rails, okay? And when I say rails, it's a video game term. So it's like I'm on rails, like I get stuck in a groove, whether it's negative or positive, and I can't get out of it. And of course, if it's negative, it's super counterproductive, it's super destructive, it's super weight regain, right? So when I eat every day, it's easy for me to get back on rails. And that applies to even OMAD for me, right? For me, because my rails can be 3,500 calories. It can be 3,000 calories. And when I get on that rail, it's hard to get off of it, right? It's hard to reduce it. It's very hard. It's mental, yeah. Yeah, I still gotta do a video on mindfulness, but rails also ties in with mindfulness. The only way that I find that I can get off of rails is when I'm super highly critical of myself by being very mindful, right? Saying to myself, okay, we've been eating 3,000 calories, we've been gaining weight. We got to reduce this, like 1,000 calories. We got to reduce this by 1,000. And I'll get to that point where I've reduced it and I'll just keep going back to the fridge and I'm like, man, I really want to eat. Man, I really want to eat. I'm like, nope, we got to do this. And then finally, at some point, I'll be in my groove again in a positive way. And the third point about mindfulness, or second point about mindfulness, is satiety, right? Knowing that, okay, I'm satiated when it comes to food, I'm good. I don't need any more food, and I don't need any snacks. I'm good. Maybe I'll take in some psyllium, right, husk, because I need some fiber, right? Maybe I'll take some apple cider vinegar, help the stomach out, right? Maybe I'll take in some almonds, not the good nuts, or should I say, not the nuts that are tasty to me like macadamia or pistachio, but I'll take in almonds, fiber, right? Healthy, omega-3 fat. I still gotta research that shit. Another thing I have on here is that I'll probably be doing some reaction to some videos about organic food, because I'm really curious to know, is it hype, or is it like something that I should continue putting my money towards? Usually, I would say at least 70% of the food I buy is organic. Yeah, I go to an organic grocery store almost every single day, sometimes 2 times in one day. I just enjoy the adventure. Sometimes I just go and look. I don't buy anything. I don't know. There's something about me. I've always enjoyed looking at produce sections, you know, like, it's almost like maybe I need to start going to farmers markets and farms and shit like that, where I can pick my own shit. Maybe I'll try that this spring. Yeah, I have to do that. Maybe even tomorrow, shit. Okay, fiber and diuretics, man. I learned a lot, you know, about fiber and diuretics. Fiber helps clear out the bowels, clear out the system. Diuretics help flush the system too, in another way, right? The urine, the poop. Fiber, diuretics. Big thing I learned during my 65-day water fast is that water, yo, really is like engine oil. Like, it keeps the system running. It's a lubricant. It's and sodium is like it's like what's the name of the thing that turns the like a knob on a pipe, right? It controls the pressure. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, water and sodium, I've learned them. Like, now I know. Like, seriously, when I put salt on food, I'm thinking about it. When I'm drinking water, I'm thinking about it. You know, I'm more mindful of them. You feel me? Yeah. Those are some of the topics I want to cover in this spring water fast talking video. It's your boy, the American African. Like, subscribe. I'll catch you on the next video. We keeping up this pace. 55 pounds to go. I'm feeling ecstatic. I'll probably weigh myself very soon, especially as I reach the end of this shorter term fast. 6 days, 5 or 6 days anyway. I might be breaking it tomorrow night. Might be breaking it Sunday at 5.5 days.